Who got snubbed?
Who got snubbed? I got a whole other section of this PowerPoint. What's up? You're watching Hive Mind, the most alluring show on the internet. My name is Riley, and as always, I'm joined by my rambunctious co-host, Graydon. The 2020 XXL Freshman List sucks. Or does it? That's what we're here to talk about. But before we get into our discussion, like the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and also we have merch available at HivemindTV.com, including this adorable platypus plush. All right, I've made a little PowerPoint for us.
I love learning.
I know, yeah. I miss school. I just miss school. I miss my teachers.
I miss detention.
Detention, yeah. Just the structure.
Everything about it.
Yeah. So I had fun making this. I hope we can all follow along.
I'll have fun failing the test. My imaginary racks.
As always, first reactions. We got to talk about the graphic design choices for this year.
Almost collagical. Collagical.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, I think they have to stop doing the whole like ripped paper school thing. Like it's just like, it never looks. And like for rappers, dude, like come on.
It looks sloppy and like playful. I want it to be like cool and stylish.
Right.
And that's not what it is.
The fact that I know that this was recorded and like created before coronavirus really like kicked in, I'm surprised that they did something that made it look like they all aren't in the same room. And maybe they weren't, but like I just hate that it's like so obviously like pieced together.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I meant.
Everybody's like different sizes and stuff. It's just weird. Like,
Jack Harlow's like basically spread eagle in the front row.
Yeah, he's just like giving it to baby KEEM,
Yep.
And also flexing his New Balances, which
all black. I work with people in restaurants that wear those because they have to.
They have to, yeah.
It's like the restaurant.
It's like he works at Chipotle, But apparently he did sign like a big shoe deal with New Balance.
I believe it.
Yeah, it makes sense that they would. Maybe XXL has like a little hand in the pot too.
That would make sense.
That would make sense. But
yeah, graphic design, I'm gonna rate it like a 5 out of 10. A solid like F.
3 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Very bad. One of my least favorite years probably in recent memory.
Yeah.
They're never good, though.
They're never good is the thing.
Good. Yeah. All right, so we'll get to talking about each person, whatever. But I do want to talk about this. We actually made a video about this a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, the leaked list.
So this was a leaked list. This came out in January. We talked about it, and that's kind of why we didn't do our prediction video this year is because we talked so much about who we thought would be on the list in this. So, so on this list, we have notably missing from the actual list, Doja Cat, Don Toliver, Young Rock, Partisan Fontaine, Big Clit, Benny the Butcher, Baby Mother, and of course Pop Smoke, rest in peace. But yeah, this was the initial like, I don't know.
That's what just makes me think these leaks and shit. This was like maybe best case scenario, one person that was working at XXL, and it was like their list got leaked. Their votes got leaked. I don't think this was like a conference room with like the editors, and they were like, "This is it," and then it got leaked, and they're like, "Reroute."
Right. I do think it's kind of interesting that it said decade leaders here, and we talked about how that like seemed like it would make sense for them, and then obviously it ended up with believe in the future, which I feel like could be based on the fact that we're in a pandemic. That they're like,
most definitely.
For sure. So maybe it was decade leaders originally, and they were like, nobody cares about it being a new decade.
This is like, we got something to feel better about now.
Right. The other thing about it is that it said it was going to be published on March 5th.
Right.
Which is super early, and it ended up being super late, like the latest year ever, August. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I didn't even think they were going to do it this year. I thought it was over.
They're playing the Masters in November, so anything's possible.
Right. This is last year's. So just in comparison.
God, the design was even so much better then.
It's
not good, but it's way better than this year's.
Yeah, for sure.
At least they're like all in a white background.
And you can see that they're all in the same room. And yeah, for sure. Seems more like stylish, but I mean, the design itself sucks. But notably, like one of the things is all of the reactions to XXL are always like, oh, these people are always like, they're already on. They're so big or like whatever. Or they'll be like, how did this person get snubbed? And it's always someone who's like really, really big. I think that a lot of people who say, "Oh, we should get rid of the XXL list." Like, people,
who says that?
People say it all the time. Like,
really?
it's yeah. They're like, "Oh, it's arbitrary. Like, it's irrelevant."
It is arbitrary.
It's irrelevant. Like all that stuff. To me, what I feel like it does is pick the people that are emerging into the mainstream, who will be the leaders of the next like little generation, little pocket generation of rappers. And to me, that's what this list did actually really well.
Yeah.
Like, and people said it was a good one last year, but like there isn't anyone on here who is just like full on irrelevant right now. There's no one.
No, absolutely not.
Like YK Osiris became like a boxer, you know? He just fights other rappers.
Started a new career.
He started a new career as a boxer.
After being the king of R&B.
Right, the king of R&B. But Tierra Whack hasn't really done much since, like released much music, but she's still like...
But that hideaway time with her like just adds to... Like when someone's as creative as her, when they spend time away, people are like, "Oh shit, what are they working on?" Like that builds excitement. And Gunna's huge, DaBaby's huge, Roddy, 7 million plays.
DaBaby and Roddy Ricch had a #1 song together.
Yeah.
And Roddy Ricch had the biggest song of the year so far. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I mean, they're all, I mean...
Yeah, looking back on this list, it's even better now, you know?
Yeah.
Like when it came out, I was like, we'll see about, you know, Meg and YK and Mosey.
Yeah, Mosey ended up having Blueberry Faygo, which was his biggest song ever. And like Meg is, you know, one of the biggest superstars in the industry. I mean, other than Comethazine. I mean, Comethazine is like the only person who's kind of faded away. But I mean, still present, like in the way that he was, you know. And
I just feel like that's more a case of his like style. Didn't take off that much.
For sure.
Kind of like flatlined, and people got sick of that, or they heard other things that they liked more.
Right. Quick note before we move on to the next thing. How about this? Jay-Z for Prez down here.
Why not? 2020 vision. What if he's Ye's VP?
Wow, that would be something. All right, let's move on. I'm really proud of this part of the PowerPoint, by the way. This is my favorite part. I think I did a really good job, okay? All right, well, actually, sorry. Not this part. The next slide is. Just wanted to say that I read the article and Pop Smoke was offered a spot on the list and accepted. Obviously, he's passed away, so he's not included in the list, but... just wanted to mention that like he would have been. He did accept it. He would have been part of this list. So that kind of like puts just into context who's involved, you know, for sure. So
also makes me wonder who filled in for him.
Well, there's 12 people on this list, so that's the most that's ever been on it. So I feel like I don't know that there's fill-ins. It's kind of just like a big list, but R.I.P. Pop Smoke.
Absolutely.
That would have been the star of this this list for sure.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. So I'm going from most obvious to least obvious,
okay.
And I've provided some stats for each one, almost like a baseball card sort of scenario.
Jack Harlow kind of looked like a baseball player.
He does, actually.
What position?
Probably right fielder.
Yeah, I was going to say left field, right field. Way out. Just stick him out there.
Yeah, stick him out there.
He's a big bat, though.
Yeah, probably like fifth spot. Yeah. Maybe sixth.
Clean up.
Yeah. All right. So I feel like the most obvious, like this list wouldn't happen if Jack Harlow wasn't involved, this list wouldn't feel right. Even back then, like he, you know, has almost a #1 song, What's Poppin', like absolutely huge. But 22 from Louisville, Kentucky. He's signed to Generation Now in Atlantic, and he has the song What's Poppin' is his biggest song. 330 million streams on that.
That's
that song.
On the remix or the OG?
The OG. It has more than the remix.
Right.
At this current
moment.
It's
been out longer, but I've imagined the remix will eventually eclipse it.
Probably, but you know.
It's got Lil Wayne.
It's got Tory.
Has anybody ever been on the list with a Wheezy feature?
Oh, there has to have been somebody. I think so. We can fact check it. Somebody fact check it. But
because that's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. But you know, I just think, you know, Kentucky Fried Drake has to be on here.
He's got to be.
He's got to be.
Jack's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah.
I can already, like, feel myself, like, he turns 30, and he's going to be like, I'm 30, and I'm going to be like, Jesus.
Right.
You've been around forever.
Yeah, that's true. He's still kind of corny to me, I can't lie. Like
that's what I mean.
Yeah, he's just... Yeah, I don't know. There's something about him, but What's Poppin' is like an undeniable song, so I get it. I get why he's as big as he is.
That's what's going to give him his longevity, is that like tinge of corniness.
Right.
He's like accessible to everyone.
Yep, and being white helps with that. Because,
I mean, there's a reason he got a New Balance deal. They're like, hey!
Yeah.
You like crisp walks and iced coffee just as much as the next guy.
All right, next most obvious in my opinion, NLE CHOPPA. So,
what does NLE stand for?
No Love Entertainment.
Okay, never knew that.
It's like his like little mini label thing or whatever. But
love his eyebrows.
Yep. 17 years old from Memphis, Tennessee. He's signed to NLE and Warner.
Yeah.
And his biggest song, which I was surprised by, is Camelot with 216 million. I thought it would be Shot of Flow.
Yeah, me too.
But but it's Camelot. So
okay.
Yeah, I feel like this one was like no matter what happens, he's gonna be here as well.
Yeah, it's just when people get this young and they get on the list, it makes them feel like real volatile to me. Like I'm like, okay, he's 17, he's here now, but like I think of myself or people I know, and like between 17 and 20 is like a transformative time,
pivotal,
in your life, and let alone if you're like making music. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him try some different things and maybe slip up and down kind of before he's even like bona fide or like really settled in his place.
I don't know. His album, I've been listening to it a lot, and I think it's like
bangers,
propels him to the next level. I think he's going to be one of the guys for sure. And also, I know that like he's influenced by a lot of different types of music. There's a lot more singing on this album, and I know he was a big X fan and stuff. So I totally can see him
adventuring out.
Yeah, he's just being more versatile. Like he's more versatile than I feel like people give him credit for, because the NLE CHOPPA type beat ended up being that like piano, like those hard pianos
back
and stuff.
To basic flows almost.
But his song like with Roddy Ricch on his project is super melodic. He has a song with Lil Baby that's super melodic. Like I think he's gonna be around because he's versatile like those guys are.
Right.
So
Memphis, baby, bring it back.
Yeah, I know. All right, Polo G.
This is definitely up there. I was going to say he's even more obvious to me than CHOPPA's just because of his album success was crazy.
Right. He does crazy numbers, yeah.
Yeah, that album just went, that was like, it was like a Young Boy album or something. Like a similar trajectory and kind of similar listener base.
Right. And I think that he almost could have been on last year's. It would have been a good pick for XXL to get him last year. But I mean, he's going to be around forever in my opinion. 21 from Chicago, Columbia Records, Pop Out's still his biggest song, 382 million, monster song.
That's huge.
So one of the biggest songs that we'll talk about today. So,
yeah, honestly. Yeah. The biggest yet.
But I think he's like going to be a legend. Like I think he's going to be like
Columbia.
He's going to be like Lil Baby level. Like for sure. Next, Baby KEEM. That was pretty obvious.
Yeah, I thought this one was pretty obvious. I was a little surprised, I guess, by this one. We're getting into surprising territory.
Yeah, I just think the way XXL has done since 2016, they've kind of tried to capture the new wave instead of like relying on traditional like rap stars or like that style. But to me, he brings it back. Like it's so obvious to me for XXL because he has those ties with TDE. He's Kendrick Lamar's cousin. Like he just plays in a certain territory that they can't resist. Like it's too obvious and too I don't know. But I was surprised to find out he's 19. I thought he was older.
Yeah, me too.
But he's 19 from Carson, California. He's signed to the Orchard and Sony Music. And
what's the Orchard?
I don't know. I've heard
Some
that
subsidiary.
I've heard that name before, but I don't know why.
Maybe it's a cult.
Yeah, it could be a cult. Maybe
that'd be cool.
Biggest song, Orange Soda, 118 million, and it's his biggest by far. So we'll see if he can replicate the success.
See if he can get a face tattoo, maybe.
Oh, that would be cool. No, I think he has too many connections for him to fail, and also he's got a lot of charisma. We've talked about him before about how like he's about as cool as you can be or like as stylish as you can be where old heads will like him, and about as like lyrical as you can be where new kids will still like him. Yeah. Like, he's like a perfect middle ground.
That's what makes him great for XXL too.
And he's super funny.
Yeah, he's like the least controversial pick on here.
For sure. Lil TJ. Only reason I put him less obvious than some of these other ones is because Polo G's here.
Right.
And similar styles. But New York, the XXL has to include like at least 2 New York rappers. So
or New York will eat it alive.
Yeah. So
isn't their office in New York?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
They just have to they're a New York company. So, but he's 19 from South Bronx.
I didn't know he was that young either.
Yeah.
I thought he was like 21.
Yeah. Columbia, and his biggest song is FN, 221 million.
Weakest name.
Lil TJ?
In the group. I just want to say that.
Yeah, it's just kind of like I don't know. It's obvious. It's just like a rapper name, like rapper name.
TJ just like reminds me of like that annoying like neighbor or something that you had.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But J and T are like the two most common like rap, it's like initial things that people use.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but I think he's also really, really talented and brings something else to the table. He's not just a Polo G, like
most definitely, yeah.
You know, he's his own thing. But
him and KEEM both have like a control of like a individual melody that I think will carry him for a long ass time.
For sure. Rod Wave.
Not my personal favorite.
He's 20, which I was super surprised by. I didn't know he's that young. St. Petersburg, Florida, signed to Alamo, and his biggest song is Hard on Ice with 100.
Who's on Alamo?
Alamo is like, I don't remember who's on it now. They've gone through a ton of trouble over the past couple of years, but...
I mean, I know Rod's like most recent album, the one that dropped this year, was received really well, and I feel like if it wasn't for that, he might not even be on this list. Like, I think that album was timely and kind of got him up that level he needed to, because honestly, like in, I don't know, October last year, like last fall, he wasn't really on my radar like that. But his most recent album got the credit I think it deserved. It was produced insanely well.
Yeah, I think it's more so like about, I don't know, like it used to be that like TJ and Polo G would be enough in the melodic sphere for that to be considered like the singer, that like the singer on the list. But now I feel like you need a full on like R&B type of dude. Like he's even more in that range. More in that lane.
I'd love to see him box YK Osiris.
Really? That would
be a beatdown.
It would be. I don't know. He might be too slow. I think.
Rod's a knocker. I can see him knocking people around in the ring.
Dude, how about his tattoos in this? Hard times with bricks behind both of them on his forearms.
Wow, that's sweet. Maybe it's a reference to the Ray Charles song.
I hate it. I hate these tattoos a lot. But shout out to Rod Wave. All right. Whoops. FIVIO Foreign. Love
this pick. Wow, did not know he was 30 either.
That's what I was going to say.
Makes me like him so much more. Look at the look in his eyes. Pure excitement. He's like, man, I finally made it.
FIVIO Foreign, 30 years old from Brooklyn, New York. He signed to Rich Fish and Columbia. Rich Fish is Mace's label. The rapper Mace signed him, which I had no idea about until I started
so Mace
researching.
Runs Rich Fish, which is a subsidiary of Columbia?
Well, I think it's just like they signed them together. Yeah, some sort of deal. But Mace signed FIVIO Foreign, which is so funny to me.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
Biggest song, Big Drip, 28 million. The reason I feel
definitely bigger songs to come from him.
I think so. But I think that the reason he's a little more obvious here is because Pop Smoke isn't here, and there has to be a Brooklyn drill representative.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be somebody doing that sound, and he's the most obvious.
The majority house leader.
Of Brooklyn drill. But there are tons of memes out there right now about just like him being a freshman at the age of 30.
Yeah, like, it's hilarious.
It's like a picture of like a big ripped dude in like a schoolboy's uniform. It's like this.
I just threw up.
This is him in the back of the class, like that type of shit. But
well, that's how it would have been if they would have picked Benny the Bee.
Benny the Butcher's 35.
That's almost Tom Brady era age.
Straight up.
The only person older than Benny Butcher that's in the culture is Adam 22. Who's 36, by the way. I looked it up today.
Nice. All right, Lil KEED.
Love this pick.
Love this pick of him, too. Looks out of it.
Didn't think... Like, this is, like, one I'm happy they made. I feel like they don't have to make this pick.
I kind of agree with that. The only reason I feel like they do have to is because he's the only Atlanta representative. Right. So,
but there were other people from Atlanta they could have picked.
Right. But he's 22 from Atlanta. He signed to YSL in 300, and his biggest song is Snake with 36 million.
Snake.
I think it's more so about just, like, it's him or Got It. And KEED's bigger than Got It right now. That's just how it is. They're both great, though.
And younger, right?
I don't know. They're brothers, but I don't know who's older, who's younger. But
should have just picked them both. It's like a little duo.
They never do the duo thing except for like Smoke, Perp, and Pump, which both were bad picks at this point. So yeah. But I don't know. I'm glad he's here, but like it's kind of a boring pick to me.
Yeah, a little bit. That's what I mean. Like this pick didn't do anything for them. It's almost just a filler.
Right. All right. 24K Golden. He was, fun fact, the 10th spot winner. Their fake 10th spot winner. That's who they decided this was. He's 19 from Los Angeles. He signed to Records LLC and Columbia. And his biggest song is Valentino with 197 million.
That might be the only song. I can like think of.
Yeah, City of Angels is a really big song too. He has a bunch of songs that are like, honestly, like he does fucking numbers. I was so shocked by his numbers when I looked it up. Like, yeah, he is.
What is Records LLC?
I don't know. I was like researching. I was like, what is that? I don't even know.
Sounds like something like someone would scam someone on. Like, hey, we want to sign you to our label.
Records LLC. It's funny though. It's like that whole like frat rap movement from like 2010. It's funny how it sounds like this now. Like, to me, this is like college. Like, if you're in college right now, there's gonna be people playing like 24K Golden at the party and be like, have you heard of this guy? Like, 24.
He's actually sick.
Yeah. But, I mean,
it kind of like sings and raps. It's like, I don't know. It's cool.
He kind of sounds like Trippie Redd and like, I don't know. Like,
that like wholehearted, like, the full long delivery is like
so big right now.
Yeah, it's big as hell. And it like, in the simplest way, like just brings the most energy to a song. You know? Like,
I think Trippie Redd is possibly the most influential rapper of the last 5 years.
Yeah.
In terms of delivery, I hear
output.
so
like he's
much.
just put out so much music.
Yeah, and his career is on like a weird trajectory now. He's kind of like in the middle of like big success and like what you would consider like flopping or something. He's like in between. But in terms of influence, like every new rapper sounds like Trippie Redd. Like,
or wants to create something original that sounds like Trippie Redd without admitting it sounds like it.
And already, like, in the little XXL, like, teaser video they put out yesterday, like, 24K Golden straight up says, he's like, I want to, like, mix pop music with rap music with rock music. Like, that, like, idea comes from, like, X and Trippie. It's just, like, them being like, I want to mix these genres together. So,
that will be a weird freestyle, I feel like.
The only reason I'm surprised to see him here is because there's other people, which we'll get to in a minute, that I feel like should have this spot instead of him, personally. Like, that fill that void.
Yeah.
All right, Mulatto. Few things about Mulatto. First of all,
Atlanta rep.
Oh yeah, I forgot. She's Atlanta, but she was born in Columbus, Ohio, which is funny.
Shout out.
I know, shout out, Ohio. But she's 21, Atlanta, signed to RCA, and her biggest song is "Bitch from the South" with 27 million streams. But fun facts about her: she was the winner of season 1 of The Rap Game, Jermaine Dupri and Queen Latifah's show, and it was
shout out the Queen.
Shout out the Queen. It was in 2016, which means that she was like, I guess 17 when she went on the show, and she won, and then part of winning that show is you're offered a record deal, and she was offered something with Jermaine Dupri and turned it down because it wasn't enough money.
Wow, that's hardcore.
Worked out for her, but
big time, yeah.
She has a big Gucci Mane co-sign right now. She just did a song with him called "Moo Wop," of course. Moo Wop. Where he has a line in it where he says, "I would have signed Mulatto, but she was signed already."
Wow. Who's she remind you the most of?
I don't know. Do you have an answer for that?
No, I'm asking you. I'm curious. You're my lecturer.
Right. Like, somewhere between, like, Meg and Cardi and, like, some of the other people from the South, like Cuban Doll and Asian Doll.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. It's kind of like a mix. Like, I feel like she could have been somewhere in, like, the doll territory.
Right.
But she also kind of reminds me of London B from Rhythm and Flow. Yeah. Like, slightly. Maybe that's just because she won her career on a game show, but, you know.
How'd you get this job? Win a radio contest?
But I was surprised to see her here over, like, some other people that we'll get to in a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
In this spot.
One was a little shocking for me.
But, I mean, it made sense once I heard it. Like, I was like, oh, I guess she could be, but I don't know. She doesn't do crazy numbers on her own yet. Yeah. So, we'll see.
The Gucci Mane co-sign will help.
Maybe they've just heard some stuff that
we haven't.
Yeah, that we haven't, so... next, CALBOY. I was very surprised to see this pick.
Surprising, but glad he's here.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he could have got picked last year.
Yeah, I think he had to get picked last year, or else he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, like, that's what that's the surprise factor.
Reminds me of Comethazine. Like I was like, this is late for that. But he's 21 from Chicago, signed to RCA, and biggest song, obviously, Envy Me, 310 million. But he just hasn't had anything since then that's been hitting like that.
No, you're right. He hasn't, and he's tried.
That's what makes me think that...
He paid to get on it?
No, it makes me think that XXL has heard his unreleased music and knows for a fact that it's going to hit.
You think they're that good at their job?
I feel like they've done it in the past. Like Mosey last year seemed like a crazy pick. They had to have heard Blueberry Faygo and been like, all right, like we'll put it on there.
I don't know.
Because like, I don't know. To me, it just seems like they know more than we do because I can't see where he's going to get back to where he was. Like, I just can't see it.
That's true, but oftentimes they're wrong too. So that would like, I feel like they're almost just like hopeful.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, last one.
CHIKA, love this pick.
Love it. Very surprised by it. I did know who she was beforehand. I had seen some of her freestyles, and I was like, whoa. But she's 23 from Montgomery, Alabama, signed to Warner, and her biggest song is Songs About You with 2.5 million.
I think she's going to be huge.
Yeah. I don't know.
Has like a Diddy cosign.
It has a Diddy cosign, but the thing about it is to me, I don't want. This is nothing against CHIKA. This is more about XXL. I feel like this is XXL kind of like atoning for the sin of never like including No Name on there, or like never including like any of those like soulful rappers from Chicago, like Saba or Nick Jenkins. Right.
They got to start somewhere.
They do have to start, but it just reminds me of like, okay, like
there are people that could have been included in the past that were representative. Like she wouldn't even be around if it weren't for those people that came before her.
Possibly, but she's been doing stuff for a long time. Like she went to Berklee School of Music.
She turned it down. She like left the Berklee School of Music to hone her own craft.
Yeah, exactly. And
which is crazy.
She also was like a slam poet. She had some of her poetry involved in what was it? It was some really big campaign she wrote some poetry for. She did a My Calvin's campaign for Calvin Klein.
That's cool.
She did that whole
true artist.
She did that whole Beyonce viral challenge thing, something about like it was like body positive thing. She's been like, she has a way of getting beyond her reach. Like it seems like she has something that she can like reach further than like her style of music normally would, which is what is inspiring to see her here for sure. So
definitely like one of the least likely, I think, to collab with any fellow classmates.
I feel like she might diss him in the freestyle because
like that. Be like, well, you all are corny.
Yeah.
And I'm smart and I went to college and left college and now Jay-Z likes me. So fuck yeah.
And I don't listen to anything past the year 2002.
Yeah, something like that.
That's
her production sounds clean though too.
Yeah, for sure.
But she's only on like her first EP.
Yeah, she's super
very little music out.
For sure. I mean, I'm excited to see what she does. If you had given me 1,000 guesses of who would be on this list, I never would have even mentioned her name. So,
but that's cool. This pick shows improvement for me for XXL because I think they're truly going to introduce like a creative artist, like figure who's here for years to come to a bunch of people who are like not tapped into that.
Yeah, or we'll be like 3 years out from this and be like, who was that?
Who's that?
I don't even remember her.
Who got snubbed?
Who got snubbed? I got a whole other section of this PowerPoint. It's pretty cool.
Fun.
No, but trust me, I've got some lined up. Some people. I did some baseball cards for the snubbed people too. Okay. And then we'll get into some other names if there's any that come to mind. First, Lil TECCA, where is he?
Big snub.
Where is he? 17 years old from Queens, New York, signed to Republic. Ransom, 699 million streams.
Maybe he turned it down.
Yeah, I think he had to have turned it down.
Yeah.
Why would they not include a New York rapper who's 17 with one of the biggest songs of the last 5 years?
He turned it down.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going. So, is he even a snub at that point, though?
No, you're not a snub if you turn it down. Like, Juice WRLD turned it down. I mean, Doja Cat turned it down if she didn't, or they were like, oh, she's too big to even offer it to her this year.
Or she's too inwardly racist. I don't understand the whole situation.
All right, next, the Kid LAROI. I'm surprised not to see him on this list because, first of all, there is nobody international. No international people included on the list this year.
Well, we're going back towards imperialism, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, I definitely see politically why we didn't include anybody else. Also, the borders are closed.
Yeah, so they can't even get in here.
But yeah, the Kid LAROI is 16, still 16. I thought he was 17, but still 16 from Waterloo, New South Wales, Australia. Signed to Grade A, Juice WRLD's label thing, and Columbia. Biggest song, Go, with Juice WRLD, 70 million. But I thought he could have been in 24K Golden's spot. I was unaware that 24K Golden was doing better streams than the Kid LAROI.
Yeah, that is interesting because his new album was well received.
And I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. I guess it was considered a flop though because it was on grade A and only did like 37K first week or something. They call it a flop, but whatever.
That's tough standards.
Yeah, for sure. But I think he could be still carried over into next year. We'll see.
Yeah.
He might be too big by then, but I wouldn't be that surprised.
I'd be surprised if he was too big by next year.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he could maybe have a few songs this coming year that like pop off, but I don't think he's going to be 17 next year and we're going to be like, oh no, he can't make the list. He's too big.
I think he will be. That's my hot take. But all right, Don Toliver.
Would have loved to see Don on here, but there's not really the need as there was like 3 or even like 2 years ago to be like, all right, we got the rappers and we got the R&B reps.
I think he's a better pick than Rod Wave.
Yeah, I think so too. But Rod Wave's more of like a blend of the two, I think. Of like the two genres.
I don't think so.
No?
Don Toliver signed to Cactus Jack, involved in Jack Boys, like much more of a, to me, I listen to Rod Wave's music and like, it's just so like gospel-y in a certain way that I think of it as like almost separate from rap. Whereas Don Toliver, I'm like,
these are always on hard production.
It's like thick production,
But I love Don too. He would have been sweet on this.
26. I didn't know he was 26. I thought he was younger than that. But from Houston, Texas, signed to Cactus Jack in Atlantic. Biggest song, No Idea. Yeah. 277 million.
Would have been nice to have Texas reps too. There's no one there.
Yeah, for sure. Next, Flo Milli.
Flo Milli.
I was just shocked. I thought she had Mulatto's spot easy.
Yeah?
Maybe she just wasn't big enough by the time they picked the list.
Yeah, because who knows how long ago they picked it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering is when they exactly did this whole thing. But she's 20 from Mobile, Alabama. Could have had 2 Alabama rappers, her and CHIKA. She's signed to RCA, and Beef Flow Mix is her biggest song, 47 million. But I think she's just on her way up, and next year will be Megan Thee Stallion level. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And then we'll see if they're going to include her as like a kind of like a juggernaut, like female rapper on the list.
Yeah.
Because like this year it feels like the female rappers are just like understated. You know?
But they are diversified too, which I think is cool.
It's important for sure.
Yeah.
But I just remember last year being like, you got Megan, you got Rico, and you got Tierra Whack, like, and they were like,
I
Megan
could
Thee
put
Stallion,
trust in those 3.
and Megan Thee Stallion is one of the biggest rappers out now.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'd like to see Flo Milli in that spot next year, like one of the biggest on the list. TJX6, 18 from Detroit. He signed to TF Entertainment, which seems like a Detroit label. I think they just do like Sada Baby and stuff like that.
Social security scams and stuff.
Right. And biggest song, Dark Web, 2.2 million.
God, this would have been great for Detroit.
This would have been great. How is he 18 and looks like this? I don't understand that.
He looks like a grown-ass man.
Yeah, he does. Also, didn't realize that like the dichotomy between how the internet feels about TJX6 and his streams and stuff. Like, he's a much smaller artist than you would think.
Yeah.
Based on how
his
viral.
presence. Yeah, the space he takes up is so large, but like the art that goes out and resonates with people is still at like a kind of experimental small level.
I want to see him do a freestyle so bad.
Hilarious.
The cypher would be incredible.
Yeah.
Like, would be so funny. But
shout out Detroit. Shout out TJ.
Shout out TJ. GUAPDAD 4000. He's 28 from Oakland.
You thought this was a snub?
I just thought like, I don't know. I don't know necessarily if it's a snub, but there were a lot of people like predicting that he'd be here. His biggest song is Bali, 12 million song with Rich Brian. I don't know. I just feel like he's kind of been a topic of conversation over the past like year and a half that, he could have been included for sure.
Yeah. I'm kind of, he didn't need to be on there. Because I feel like if this was like a pick, this is one I would have a problem with.
Really?
Yeah. Just like not representative of, what is it called? Best of the future or best?
Believe in the future.
Believe in the future. Yeah. Like GUAPDAD's not making me believe in the future.
I think his music's fun to listen to, but,
I do too, but I think it's like just pretty of the time.
Right. JASIAH?
Would have been great.
I just feel like they need to represent like that style of music has not been like X, I guess, but at the time he was so big that it didn't even feel like it was representing a subgenre.
Yeah, it was representing himself.
Right.
He was like bigger than life.
Right. But to me, I feel like they needed to, and JASIAH is the most obvious representative of it right now in the, like, closer to the mainstream, you know?
Yeah.
Like, NASCAR is, like, too far away from, like, rap because he's been making, like, punk music now.
Yeah.
Tokyo's Revenge, not quite big enough yet. Like, there's
Not
like a few
quite,
people. And, like, some people are saying Zillakami got snubbed, and I'm like, Zillakami's been around for, like, 4 years.
He's also
like,
never going to accept it.
no, it's just not. It's not. Yeah, there's no way.
It's too corny for him.
Yeah, I would have liked to see JASIAH on here for sure.
JASIAH would have accepted it, I think.
Yeah. 23 from Dayton, signed to Atlantic, Case 19, the biggest song, 28 million.
Could have sang opera during the cypher.
See, that's what I'm saying. You guys are missing out. Yeah. All right, next, Stunna for Vegas.
This is kind of a snub. This is someone they would have loved to have picked, I think.
Yeah, but to me, it's just like the baby rollover. You can't pick somebody whose career is built on the back of another bigger artist. You just
Every
can't.
time I see him, I just picture that the white guy, like, fake combing his rose, and he
That-
says, like, Stunna for Vegas is the best out right
No,
now.
he's like DaBaby and Stunna for Vegas, best duo of all time. I don't care. I don't fucking care. He's just like a white dude combing his hair. Yeah. But he's 24 from Salisbury, North Carolina.
How about that?
Signed to Interscope, and biggest song Go Stupid, 108 million.
Go stupid.
Yeah, I think it would have been. I would have criticized this pick if they picked him. But.
Yeah, but this just is right up their alley. Like,
Right.
I know everyone at XXL loves Stunna for Vegas.
Yeah,
I just know it.
All right, YNWB Slime.
Little early.
I don't think so, dude. I think they missed out. He's 13 from Gifford, Florida. Why did I put that? Florida. Labeled just YNW, and biggest song Slime Dreams, 19 million.
Have we ever had a child on that list?
No, I don't think there's ever been a child.
Was Bad Baby on the list?
No,
No?
never been on it. I want to see him on here next year, and if they don't, they are just tripping. Like,
Yeah.
because he's
We got to
just-
represent the youth
And
with
he's-
these lists.
Yeah, and like, yeah, I just want to hear him talk about like V-Bucks like during his interview. Like, there's so much and he freestyles like singing and shit. It's
Yeah.
just like so entertaining. Like, I need to see him do that whole press run for XXL.
Yeah.
I need to see him get interviewed by
child.
Big Boy.
Yeah.
I need to see that happen, you know?
I agree. This is a snub too.
Yeah.
They missed out on this one.
Right. All right, last snub. Lil Xan.
Every year he seems to just get
Every year, I just don't understand how
don't
they
get
keep
it.
missing. You know, 23 from Redlands, California, Columbia. Biggest song, Betrayed, 431 million. The second biggest song we've talked about today. Yeah, it just seems like every single year XXL just
This
has.
is another opportunity
They
to
have
pick 'em.
those. What are those horse glasses called? Blinders.
Blinders, there you
Yeah,
go.
they have those on. It seems like they're just not paying attention to the full scope of things. So
They're not really tapped in.
no. So, real bummer.
I hope Lil Xan's doing well today.
Yeah, me too.
I just want to shout him
Shout
out.
out Diego. Also, why does he have 32 tattooed right there?
Why does it look like he has extra teeth, too? He looks like a shark.
All right, next. 2021 considerations.
Okay, here we go.
I just put down a list of names, and these are people that I feel like are not in the mainstream yet who have a chance to push to that level.
Yes.
Okay, so this is not anybody who's like obvious or anything, but to me, I feel like these are people who within the next 6 months can make that push to the mainstream where they will seem obvious by the
Yeah.
time they're picking next year. 645AR.
That one sticks out to me, so does BK, and
Yeah, The Holiday, Lil Loaded. I feel like there were people saying he was snubbed this year, but I think he's a shoo-in for next year. Not enough out there about him. Like, he hasn't done interviews or anything, which I feel like will be the struggle for rappers right now
during
to
this
take
time,
it to
just
the next
to do the press, yeah.
to take it to the next level. That's gonna be tough. But Lil Loaded is someone who I feel like has a lot of star power. Really good music too. The Holiday could fill that kind of like melodic spot for next year. Like the 24K Golden type spot. BK the Rula, I think, will be a
Yeah,
huge
that'll be a
star,
big one.
especially because I know she just signed somewhere and will be getting that push. And she
Yeah.
just says,
she just needs like that one or two features of that one song to just go really big, and everyone's gonna rush to the music she's already released to.
and she has such a mystery around the way that she carries herself, and there's like a mysticism about her that I think will translate really well to a big audience. Cochise or Cochise, however you say that guy's name, I think
I think it's Cochise.
Cochise. Yeah, I think he has a big shot to take it to the next level. I know a lot of people have been buzzing about him lately. I personally feel like he's still indebted to some of his influences, but we'll see. I don't know. He has kind of like that Amine thing to him where he plays with certain styles, but has kind of like a likability about him that I think will take him further. Since '99, just he's white, you know. They find a way. The white kids always find a way.
And his delivery is so unique.
Yeah. Ty Fontaine, I think, obviously will be huge by next year. Just makes sense to me. The internet money. Kenny Mason, we've talked about him before.
Yep.
You know, just that lyrical Atlanta style coming back has kind of like a darkness to it that I feel like people will be drawn to.
Yeah, I think that could be a good one for next year.
White Rose Moxie from Detroit.
Yeah.
I think that he is someone who is slept on right now. I know he just signed a deal. I think that he's got what it takes to be like someone that everybody knows by next year for sure. Lil Darky, probably too controversial for the list, but will be so massive by next year that they might have to do what they did with X and just kind of like say it's the 10th spot pick and put him on there. I can't see it happening, but we'll see.
God, it'd be beautiful, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be something. It'd be a day for everybody to talk about it.
It'd be the day of reckoning for
it's
the
all
music industry.
It's all they would talk about is him being on there and whether it was okay. That's what it would be. Anyway, Iverson only has 3 or 4 songs out, but I think will be massive.
Yeah.
Sebi going viral.
Hilarious.
I
if
see.
hyperpop rap comes on next year.
I don't think Sebi is really hyperpop. He's more of like he's rapping for sure. I just want to see him do a freestyle. I want to see him do a cypher, and I need to see him get interviewed. Like, just whoever's on the list, the contrast for Sebi to be there will be amazing to watch. Breakins, I don't know if he's even a rapper, so I don't.
Yeah, that would be. That's the line right there. It's like if you include a guy like Breakins, it's like what does the list become the next year then?
True.
Like then who do we have to represent every year? Like it becomes so wide that it'll be like full bands in there.
Right. I think he's just he's gonna be mainstream.
Yeah,
so that's why I feel like there might be people talking about it, but he's not rapping, so he won't be on the list. But I just thought it was whatever.
Could be.
Tokyo's Revenge, I just think has a chance to
that's a good one.
To skyrocket and like. I don't know. That's the thing about Jasiah is Jasiah's really screaming on a lot of his music. Tokyo's Revenge doesn't always scream.
No.
He's got like a rap delivery, and that's why I feel like XXL might be more inclined to pick someone like him.
Yeah.
When that comes around. But
I think Jasiah's like with another album out and stuff like could display the versatility that we know he has that could put him on the list next year.
That's true. Skywater, still very small, but I think is someone people will talk about. Summers.
Yeah.
That would be so crazy to see Summers do that whole like run, especially because like I feel like a lot of rappers in that style in the past have been snubbed from the list or like not included. So to see Summers like on that level would be so sick. Or like Big Baby Gucci or something like that.
BFB though?
BFB?
That would be fucking good.
If Free Joe Exotic, which obviously wouldn't be called this if like in the hypothetical scenario I'm about to make up, if that had come out 6 months earlier, BFB to Pac-Man's on the list.
Yeah.
Like, he's on there, and he is spitting the funniest cypher that's ever happened.
Yeah, BFB reminds me of, like if Maxo Cream was a stand-up comedian or something.
Oh, my God.
Like, it's such, like, a trap, like, hood delivery, but then it's just, like, laced with some hilarious lines.
Right.
Shit no one else can get away with either.
Yeah.
Like, lyrically.
All right, closing thoughts on this list. So we said it sucked at the beginning. Does it actually suck?
You know what? No.
You don't think so?
I don't think it sucks.
Okay.
I don't think it sucks. I think they're taking steps in directions that in the future are only going to help them like predict more stars. I think they're always going to have misses. They're always going to want to cater to certain regions and certain sensibilities of rap fans.
Right.
But I do think they're starting to kind of, maybe it's just been going on long enough that like it is what it is and I can like critique it separately. Like it really is arbitrary. It doesn't mean anything, but it is a list.
It's kind of like, I'm glad you said that, because what I think about is like the reason we can predict who's going to be on this list is because they pick.
It's formulaic.
They pick from a certain level. So like we're not expecting, like the rappers that I'm listing here, we're not expecting them to make it, because XXL is not putting on these rappers who like aren't up yet. Yeah. They're putting on rappers who they know are up and they're gonna stay up, or they like are predicting that they're gonna be, you know, around for a long time, or artists that people will associate with this time. And so I feel like for that reason, it's a pretty successful list. Aside from missing a few key figures, which are already huge artists. Like, I feel like they're missing TECCA. Yeah. I feel like they'd be better off picking the kid LAROI than picking 24K Golden. You know, there are like minor things. And I also think that CHIKA is kind of like a gamble of a pick. Like, who knows if she'll be, I don't know. I can't, it's hard.
Too small to tell,
Too small to tell. So there's stuff like that. But like anything, like the Grammys, it doesn't,
this is an industry list.
It doesn't matter, but it matters. It matters because somebody's got to give out the trophies, somebody's got to give out the medals, and you know, it would be cool if there was somebody like Pigeons and Planes or Mascarilla or ourselves who were putting out a list of people that aren't up yet and actually making predictions. And I like when people like actually do that. But for now,
we do that like about once a week.
Yeah, we do that all the time. Like every 2 weeks, we're putting 5 people we think will be up. You know, but at the same time, we can't expect that from XXL. No. So don't go in there thinking you're gonna find a new artist. Just go in there thinking that you're gonna find the artist that they believe, based on their unreleased music and their released music, will be the leaders of this generation or whatever. So,
who wins the freestyle?
Who wins the freestyle? Let's go back and look at the first thing here. All right.
I think it's FIVIO or Jack.
I think it's Baby KEEM or Jack.
Yeah.
Jack, it'll be corny, but it'll be funny.
Freestyle.
It'll be funny.
Yeah.
And Baby KEEM, I feel like, is an underrated actual like rapper. Like I feel like he's gonna be able to like craft something that people like will really respect. But I also feel like CHIKA will have like will have to. She'll have to prove herself.
Yeah, she's gonna come out with her blade out.
My final guess though is going to be Baby KEEM. I think Baby KEEM comes out on top of the freestyle.
I'm gonna say FIVIO.
FIVIO.
Just because I think he could have some lines where people are like, "Oh my God, that's something only he could say."
I think he might phone it in, man.
Yeah, he might.
I think he might phone it in.
It's one or the other. It's going to be an A or an F.
Right. Okay. Well,
that was it.
That's it.
Thanks for the lesson, dude.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hope you guys enjoyed my PowerPoint. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more. Let us know who you think was snubbed from the list, who you think might be someone we could consider for 2021 to start having that conversation, and what you think of the list overall.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we'll see you in the next one. HiveMindTV.com to get your merch, and thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.